Well, President Trump is expected to arrive in Scotland later today. The trip comes as the administration looks to take control of the narrative surrounding his involvement in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche met with Epstein's longtime girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell again today. While leaving the White House, President Trump said he didn't know much about the meeting, and he thinks the public should focus on something else.
People should really focus on how well the country's doing, or they should focus on the fact that Barack Hussein Obama led a coup, or they should focus on the fact that Larry Summers from Harvard, that Bill Clinton, who you know very well, and lots of other friends, really close friends of Jeffrey Summers, should be spoken about. Because, you know, Jeffrey Epstein should be spoken about, and they should speak about them, because they don't talk about them. They talk about me. I have nothing to do with the guy.
All right, let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro. Aaron, thanks for joining us. We just saw the president once again deflect regarding the Epstein case. Is this controversy expected to follow him overseas? And what's he saying about the possibility of offering clemency to Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, it certainly could follow him overseas, just given the timing of this trip follows several days of developments when it comes to this whole Jeffrey Epstein story. From that meeting between the #2 at the Department of Justice, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and longtime Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell that wrapped up earlier today, to more reports from the Wall Street Journal about an alleged letter that President Trump penned for Epstein's birthday book in 2003. The president told reporters that someone else may have used his name in some supposed letter, but again deflected and said that reporters should be looking at Epstein's ties to Clinton, as well as former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers. He even told reporters, quote, that he'd provide a list of hedge fund guys who have lived with Epstein. When it comes to Maxwell and a potential pardon, which Maxwell's attorneys have told reporters earlier today is not something that they've seen, the president said it's not something that he has thought about, but added he is allowed to do it.
All right, Aaron, I've got to ask about this. Before his departure, the president appeared to be softening his tone towards Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. That's after yesterday's tour of the central bank. So where do things stand right now in regards to their relationship?
Yeah, this was a pretty tense relationship going into that tour yesterday that agreed. It seems to have softened, at least in the public statements between the two men. As the president told reporters, quote, it was a good meeting yesterday. And both to reporters as well as Truth Social posts after the tour seemed to signal that while he has problems with the cost of this renovation of the headquarters of the Federal Reserve, he's not going to do anything to stop it. He just wants it to finish. Worth noting, though, that White House officials even today have continued to criticize the cost of this renovation project. The president also seemed to suggest that Powell is open to lowering the interest rates, which has been a long-standing request from President Trump, as he believes that that is kind of hamstringing the economy. Powell, at least publicly, has very much maintained a kind of wait-and-see approach, pointing to potential impacts of the president's, quote, reciprocal tariffs.
And Aaron, the president is in Scotland this weekend. What's his goal for the trip?
Yeah, part of it is business. He'll be meeting with several world leaders, including United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer tonight. He's also expected to meet with Scottish leaders. And according to the European Union Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, the two talked this morning and are going to meet in person in Scotland on Sunday. But another big part of this trip is golf. He'll be visiting, potentially be playing golf at his Turnberry golf course, and will be opening a new one named after his mom, who was born in Scotland in Aberdeen.
All right, Aaron Navarro at the White House. Thank you.